I know I talk quite a bit here about how I think traditional higher education is broken, college, MBA school, PhD, but I'm going to go a step further today. I also believe high school or secondary school is broken, and I'm going to share some ideas on that as well. Welcome, colleagues. I'm George Sloan. This is the Myford University channel. We also have the MBA Accelerator sub-channel if you want to check that out, and myforduniversity.com. Again, subscribe, give us a like and a share, and again, do not keep us a secret. Okay, so I talk quite a bit about how I think traditional higher education is broken. And honestly, I think the problem starts even earlier than that. But I don't talk about it too much because I try to stay in my lane, so to speak. But I am going to today break out of that a little bit because I think part of what the problem with traditional higher education is that it's being fed by misinformation and a wrong approach in secondary school or high school, as you may know it. Um, where do I think high school has gone wrong? Number one, steering everyone into going to college. That's problem number one that I think I have with them. Not everyone should go to college. Not everyone should go to college. Some people should go into the trades. So there's a problem that high schools have created as well. They got rid of a lot of the industrial arts programs and trade school connections, and now you have to pursue that as almost a secondary thing. That's one of the problems. So wood shop, architectural drawing, getting even auto shop in high school should be revisited. The other, that's effectively problem number two. Problem number three with high schools and secondary school, they have kind of veered off and they're not doing the things that they should be doing to prepare people for the base foundations of life or to go on to traditional higher education. What do I mean by that? I don't think they focus hard enough on basic reading, writing, and arithmetic, as they say. They get too off on a tangent and they're getting, it's almost like college is coming down into high school in the sense that they're trying to tell you what to think, not necessarily teach you how to think. And in high school, maybe it's not so much how to think that you need to learn, but the basic foundations. You need to be able to read, you need to be able to write, you need to have basic understanding of basic mathematics. The approach that they should be taking in high school is making sure in the first 2 years that those groundings are laid there. Because some people, again, should not go to college. Some people are going to go a different path. They may go into the trades. They may set up their own business. They may go into the military. There may be a host of other approaches that they take, but they should have certain basic foundations. The ability to read, the ability to write, and the ability to do basic mathematics. I think that getting into the mathematics part, I think they should teach them a little bit about personal finance. I also think home economics should be brought back into it because I think they lost sight of that. There are certain basic skills that folks should have just to be an active adult. I'm not saying men or women. I'm saying just to be a functioning active adult, you should have certain understandings of basic home economics and the ability to understand personal finance. A lot of these kids go off to college and they end up getting into massive debt because they don't fully understand the ramifications because no one took the time to teach them. So there is yet another problem. The way I think that high school should be structured, as I say, is the first 2 years, you should be able to get the finishing touches on the ability to read, write, and do arithmetic. Once you've got that, then you can go and mix it up a little bit. There should be courses that prepare people to go to college. So the last 2 years could be college prep. I would get them some AP, okay, advanced placement, so that they get a jump on college if that's the route they're going. If that's not the route they're going, if they're going to go to trade school, obviously I would make sure that they get pushed into trade school sooner than later so that we are not delaying the inevitable or putting on additional time and expense onto families. Another thing, Some people may want to go towards the direction of the military. I know that ROTC exists in colleges. I have heard that it does exist on some form or some level in high schools, but not everywhere. I think there should be the opportunity for that. Maybe some of them want to go into law enforcement and should be channeled into the police academy. There's a number of different things that should be focused on and given them the opportunity. There should be some courses for those people that want to go and become small business people. Give them some basic courses on basic accounting, basic business, contracts. Give them some basic sales and marketing. These are all things that, again, not everyone is going to college, and they should have other alternatives inside of high school. There should be internship opportunities in high school for people who aren't going to college. Everyone waits for internships when they're going to college. It should be done as early as high school. I'm going to throw another one at you. Why aren't they getting some of these kids lined up with certifications? Some of these certifications that I talk about do not need for you to wait. You don't need a college degree, and you don't necessarily have to wait. Get some of these folks certified. Get them trained. Get them the tools that they're going to need, the skills that they're going to need. There should be more emphasis on getting them, if they want training in using computers, and not just the Office package, Microsoft Office. They should be learning how to build websites. They should be learning how to do digital marketing. Excuse me, because some of them, excuse me, some of them could be setting up a small business doing that right out of high school. I remember years ago, I came across a young man who was still in high school, but he was running a website for somebody. Was he a little under-equipped? Yeah, but I gave him credit for at least trying. The bottom line is, high school should be rejiggered, should be rethought, because quite frankly, I think that folks are missing the mark. There could be some training. I'll give you another example. Say someone wants to go into the nursing profession. Now, granted, they still have to go to college, but can we get them some kind of internship while they're in high school at one of the local medical facilities or a senior assisted living to get them exposure? These are all things that need to be rethought. If you want, everyone wants to push their kids to do things sooner and sooner. Why not get them properly trained to be functioning adults when they come out of high school? Why not give them a head start if they are going to college by getting them more specialized AP courses? I know that those things exist in some places, but the emphasis needs to be, what direction do you think you're going, and what can we do to give you that base foundation in those first 2 years, and use the second 2 years to get you in a more focused direction? Does this mean that these kids have to do this for the rest of their lives? No. But why do we have to go and wait and go to 4 years of college for them to find out that they don't want to do what they did in college? This is when there should be experimenting, some testing of what it is that they really want to do, and then helping them get those tools. Because again, a lot of new careers do not require a college degree. If I had a kid who had, some sharps when it comes to computers, I would get them additional computer training so that they could go and apply to a Google, and where you don't need a college degree if you can show the skills. Do you have the skills and abilities to do certain things? I would get into that sooner than later, because they want to hit the ground running. And high school could and should be where that foundation is. And high schools, stop trying to send everyone to college. You're sending them down the wrong path. Some of them should go. But should all of them go? Absolutely not. So there needs to be some rethinking done. And I got news for the parents out there. I don't think that the local school board and local school district, the industrial complex that is them, want to change and upset the apple cart. They're very comfortable with the way things are going. They're very much like the colleges. They've got their way of doing things, and they want everyone funneled. And they're resistant to change, just like the colleges are. So you're going to send them from one level to the next. My point to you parents is you may need to take some of this into your own hands and say, look, I want this for my child. And you may need to form small groups and say, look, we know that our child wants to go and become a tradesperson. They want to be an electrician. They want to be a plumber. Let's get them focused. What are the paths? Give me someone that knows how to do this. Not every guidance counselor should be pointing at college for every single student. I know I'm not saying anything that's out of the ordinary here. I think a lot of people are starting to wake up and figure this out, but we need to take a little more active approach to it, because if you let your kid be funneled into going to college, that's another 4 years and a whole bunch of money now that's going to be going in the wrong direction when you could have given them the grounding and footing. Again, the opportunities in digital and social marketing are tremendous. I'm not talking about influencers. I'm talking about people that can actually build and run the infrastructure. That the opportunities are endless, and you don't need a college degree for it. Certifications. Again, I keep going back to HubSpot for digital and marketing and social media marketing. Google has courses. Microsoft has courses. Amazon has courses. And a lot of these are the same ones that say we don't need a college degree. If you can get your kid up to speed and get them some certifications and get them up to speed and get them working, boom, they can hit the ground running and actually make some decent money and get some great experience while their friends are off in college racking up debt and wasting 4 more years. Now, what if it doesn't work out? College will still be there. They can always go to college after. What if you took and sent them down a path where they actually got some serious qualifications and got some experience of a year or two in the workforce, and then go to college if they felt they still needed it? And I'm willing to bet you a lot of them are going to figure out they don't need the college. When they start making some money and they've got the experience there, again, college degree is not required in a lot of cases, especially with some of these high in demand jobs with these companies that all these people want to get into. Get the experience, get the skills, make sure it's demonstratable. And much like I say for people, in terms of avoiding higher education, rethink how you handle secondary or education or high school, because again, it could be a way to get your kid focused. They're more mature and more focused than you think they can be. Some of them may need more time, and college or a junior college might work for them. But a lot of them, I think, would be better served, instead of wasting time and money going to college, to get what they need in high school and get out into the workforce and start really making an impact and really discovering what they want. They'll get a head start over other people. Maybe not in dollars and cents right away, but experience racks up quickly. And once people see that you can do it, they start paying for it. The bottom line is, while I harp on traditional higher education, again, I think some of the problem is rooted in high school, and high school needs to be rethought. And the high school administrators are not going to do it for you. Your school board is not going to do it for you. You're going to have to do it and take it to them. I would love to hear your thoughts and comments on this. This is the Myford channel. Give us some comments. Give me some feedback. I'm glad to engage and have an intelligent conversation about this, because again, I think, what was years ago is not what is now and tomorrow. It's a whole new ball game, especially with AI. And I think in some cases, some things about AI are overblown and others are not. It is a fantastic tool, and it's going to give kids the ability to do things sooner than later. And as I say, the time to start that is actually in high school. I'm George Sloan. I want to thank you. Remember, learn it fast, apply it faster. We help you with that. We'll see you the next time.